Good morning. Today's topic is Challenges, the Beauty of Life. There is no human being who has not faced challenges and problems in life. They are integral part of life, unavoidable. Life is no fun without challenges. Challenges bring out our inner strength, our skills, our character. Right from birth, we have the challenges. Baby is born, faces first challenge is hunger. And she knows how to face this challenge. And her tool or his tool is crying. And challenge is met up. And we say, oh sweet, the baby's crying. The nice way to find this solution for this challenge. Sri Krishna said in the Gita that wise persons see birth, death, old age and disease as challenge. There he uses the word dukkha, suffering. Suffering is a challenge, you see. We understand old age, disease and death is like a suffering, like a challenge. But why birth can be challenged? Why you just janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi? We should see dukkha in all those. Dukkha, dosha, anudarshanam. Why should birth be a challenge? Because birth is the beginning of all the challenges. When birth happens, all those will come in life. If they don't come, there's no fun. Now today our title is challenges are not really something to be just useless things. It's if without challenge, there had been no challenge in life. Life had been so good, so peaceful, all peace is gone because of this difficulty in life. What we want to present today is life is beautiful because there are challenges. And one of the qualities is it brings out the real person. Like they say, heaven, you see. Heaven must be a very dull place to live. There is no challenge. Imagine that there is no challenge in heaven. There is no hunger, there is no old age, there is no disease. You just live. There is no work, there is no job, there is no being laid off. What for you live? And how boring it will be. You can imagine the concept of heaven, though we think, oh, how nice, peaceful. Just think of your existence without any challenge in life, that you don't have to do anything. And the days go on like this, not one day or 1 week. Year after year, you have nothing to do and nothing to, worry and nothing, no disease, no death, no problem, no conflict, no resolution of the conflict, nothing is there. It's just unthinkable life. The life in heaven, if you really think what is depicted in all religions, is not worth living. That's why they say that concept of heaven must be concept, it can't be true. Because there is all happiness. How can there be happiness without suffering? There is all life, there is all joy, this all comes with its opposite. When there is existence, the happiness comes with suffering. Swami Vivekananda says, the happiness, the crown of you, the person goes to take happiness with the suffering of crown on his head. So that, it's like a dual thing coming together. The concept of heaven seems to be illogical, and if it is there, it is not worth having. Concept that heaven is not to be worth achieved and gone to. That's what it is. Life has to be challenged. So what are the existential challenges of our human beings, present society? The birth itself is challenged. After birth, then education is challenged, you see. Every day we have to go to school. Getting up from the bed for a baby, for the child is a challenge. He doesn't want to get up. If the mother has to call, oh, it's time to go to school, and somehow it comes out of the school. Going to school is challenge. Taking exam is challenge. Passing the exam is challenge. Everything is challenge in life. Then after you learn nicely, you have crossed all the challenges. Then comes job, looking for job. You have the highest studies, do masters, do PhD, now job, you don't get job. That is again big challenge. The challenges become bigger and bigger as we grow in life, as we advance in life. Then after you get the job satisfactory, then another is sometimes you may be laid off. Or another greater problem is marriage. Marriage is a big challenge. Whom we are going to get married, how the person will be, spouse will be, how it will turn out to be. Oh, so much of stress here in my friends, so much of incompatibility between husband and wife. What will happen to me? It is a challenge, and people don't remain without marriage, without getting wedded. You see, they take up the challenge and think that it will be right in their case. So they take the challenge, and that's how marriage is. The institution of marriage is such a beauty of life. Without being married, how the life would be if the whole creation, whole the humanity was just man or woman in the separate islands living, not meeting at all. Would that be worth living life? So there is challenge there is beauty in getting challenged in life. Now the challenge comes after marriage. Children, big challenge, change of your whole focus and whole your routine. Now you used to sleep at night very nicely. After that, when the baby is born, your sleep is gone. Whole night the baby cried and you have to keep awake. And then next morning you can't say that I can't go, you have to go to office. Big challenge, whole night keeping awake, and next morning, whole day you have to work. So these are but nobody will say, oh, how difficult is getting child. Everybody is so happy listening to the child. No parent I have heard that who says, oh, the baby was crying for whole night, oh, why did I get married, why did I have child? Nobody said that. Because having children is the life, the beauty of life. Facing that challenge is the beauty of life. Every challenge in this world that we get is nothing less than the beauty, joy. That just we need to make it joy. Old age, of course, is a challenge for everyone. With old age comes less energy in our body and the physical system. Now, how to convert that old age challenge into beauty? These challenges which we really don't like, now turning those into beauty is the real challenge. That is the challenge. How to make this old age into something livable, something acceptable, something agreeable. That is the real challenge of human being. And then, of course, death is a big challenge. Death for yourself. Maybe that challenge comes, but the challenge comes when your near and dear one dies. That really is a challenge. How can we can see the beauty in death? That also sometimes is a great educator. Death of our near ones, it seems that when someone dies, it's so cruciating pain. Sri Ramakrishna, someone had come to Sri Ramakrishna bereaved by the death of his son. And Sri Ramakrishna then didn't say anything about that the world is unreal and all that. What he said was his own story of how death affected him. He said, when one of my cousins died, then first I laughed that nothing had happened. But after a few hours, I felt so much pain in my heart, and my heart was as if the towel is being wrung of its wetness. Water is being squeezed out of towel. When you have that kind of pressure on the towel, similarly my heart was being wrung in that way. I felt so great and deep anguish over the death of my cousin, my nephew. He was a nephew. And he said, why I had to go through this? He said, oh, perhaps mother wanted me to understand what is the pain of losing dear ones for a worldly man, so that I could feel that. Otherwise I am a monk, detached from anything, looking, understanding this world, whole world is just a play of God. I would not understand the pain. So that was for my education. That was the beauty of his suffering that he took. That this is also an education. I had to learn. I can now feel more for the people of the world whom he had to interact throughout his life. He had come to interact with the people. All his sadhanas, all his deep spiritual practices unseen in the history of mankind were for service of the humanity. It's not for himself. He did all that for us so that he earned so much of his spiritual power. He understands our problem and He shows the way to go through and go and beyond our problem, to face the challenges of life. That's what we get from Kripamayananda and all our great saints. In our lives, challenges are inevitable. It is inevitable that we face problems, challenges, uncertainty. Otherwise, we become like robots. Just nothing, no thought. Swami Vivekananda once said, you see, this conflict of thought, you think one way, another person thinks another way. Don't we feel sad for that? Why that person doesn't conform to my ideas? Why we all don't think alike? Though in the Upanishad we pray that may our mind be same, samvad katsadvam, samvadadvam. But it's a different implication. It doesn't mean that we all should think the same thing. Swami Vivekananda says, what I think, if you also think same way, if another person also thinks same way, then there will be no interaction of thoughts. And we all will look to each other because the same thought we are thinking, and finally we will become like mummies, just looking, staring at each other. Nothing, no conflict of thought. When the conflict comes, though it is like challenge for us, what I think another person contradicts, that's the beauty of life. That is what the life is. We don't want to be like mummies. We want to be like living human beings. Swami Vivekananda's beautiful quotation, you see, the day you pass without any problems, realize that you are on the wrong path. Every day we need to have problems. They are welcome. Without problem, you are on the wrong path. Problems, the worldly problems, spiritual problems. Now, as the human beings, we need to convert these problems into our knowledge. Something it gives us, something we become wiser of because of the problems. Challenges open up reality of life. We become wiser through challenges. According to Swami Vivekananda, life is neither for joy nor for suffering. It is for experience, for knowledge, for wisdom, through which we become strong and free. Ultimate goal of life is neither joy nor happiness nor even peace that we understand. The ultimate goal of life is freedom. And through every experience that we get in life, good and bad, nice and ugly, pleasant and suffering, it all adds up to the attainment of freedom. Swami Vivekananda says, nice, happy days are less educated, but the difficult times are greater educator in attaining the freedom. They are better for us. Wayne Dyer had said, when you change the way you look at things, the way things look change. So, when the problem comes, how can we solve the problems? That is very important. Welcome problems. Oh Lord, give me the knowledge and the wisdom so that I can solve the problem. This should go together. Problem comes and prayer comes. How to solve the problem in the best way that will benefit me, that will educate me, that will make me more spiritual, a wiser, better person. That is the way. How to then face the challenges. Arjuna faced the challenge in the battlefield. He wanted all decisions taken, the fight will be there, they will gain their right of their kingdom, half of the kingdom, and the fight started. But when he faced the army in the battleground, the problem came, challenge came to Arjuna. I can't kill my own kith and kin, my own grandsire and my own teacher and my own cousins. That was big challenge in Arjuna. Then Sri Krishna was there. Sri Krishna said, Arjuna, what are you talking about? You have to fight for justice and that is your dharma as a warrior, as a king, as a prince. That is your dharma. Don't think of anything else. You have to face the challenge. Arjuna said, I don't want to fight. I don't want to kill them. They are my dearest person in this life. I want to live for them. By killing them, Why should I want to live? I want to live for them. Rather, I now give up everything and take a begging bowl and become a monk. Sri Krishna said that time, that is not the way. That what you are saying is fleeing away from the problems. If you go away from the problems don't go away from you. You may like to take the begging bowl today, go away from the battle, but you will never be satisfied with that because you are not made for that, you are not prepared for that. Your your constitution is of a warrior, is a man who fights for justice, who doesn't go away from the battle. That is your constitution. Do not try to go away from the challenge. Face the challenge. Sri Krishna said and gave reasons for how to face the challenge, and why to face the challenge. The one of them we have said, don't flee away, don't go away. Your very nature will make you fight. You can't really flee. If you go, it will be a wrong decision taken, which you will always curse in your life. Why did I fly away? And he says, the great person, you are a so renowned person, leader of the society. If you go on the pretext that you don't want to kill because of kindness, people won't understand that. People will all say bad things for you. And for a man of honor, the bad words are worse than death. That's Sri Krishna said. Swami Vivekananda had like that problem. He was in Varanasi and he found some monkeys were running in the temple. He had gone to Durga temple, and monkeys started chasing him. And when something comes, you see, if some snake comes here, what will I do? I will try to go away from the snake. So that's what the natural instinct of a human being is. Whenever something comes, we go away, avoid it. It's very involuntarily it happens. We avoid the problems. Why? Just flee. They say either fight or by flight. So first thing is the flight. When you try to fly away, then also it doesn't go, then you want to fight. And after some time, the first instinct comes that. Swami Vivekananda also started running when the group of monkeys were behind him. Someone said, don't go away from the problems, face the challenges, face the brutes. And Swami Vivekananda instantly took this message of the old monk who was sitting and seeing this thing. He just turned towards monkeys, and as soon as he turned, the group of monkeys, all they fled away. That's what happens to challenges in life, problems in life. When you really take the problems head on, problems becomes weak. We have so much of power, so much of knowledge, so much of wisdom, and we have those who are spiritual and believers in God. They have God behind them giving all the powers. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, I have seen how people sell the grains in country. So what they do in the countryside, they have a huge heap of grains. And a big heap it is. So they sell with weighing in a balance, with hands they weigh. And as the heap becomes smaller and reduced in front, so someone is there from behind, they push the grains in front near that person's hand. So like that he says, God, who believe in God, He pushes all the supplies like that to you. You don't have to worry. Just be dependent on God. So for a spiritual person, the great strength comes from his faith in God. And problems really, they fly away. Surrender to God is the best way to face the challenges. I belong to God, this challenge will go away. And Sri Krishna, that's why said to Arjuna after saying all the Gita, the reality of Atma never being killed, the truth that everyone, this physical existence will go away by showing Vishwarupa Darshana. After that he says, Mamanusmara Yuddhacha. Arjuna, remember me and fight, perform a duty, face the challenges. Just connect this with me. When you surrender to me and you are with me and then you fight in the world, all your fighting becomes very comfortable, very easy. You will not feel anything because I will be there behind to protect you, to make you strong to face these challenges. Mamanusmara Yuddhacha is the way by which we can fight the challenges of life. Challenges of life are great. Not that everyone just have very easy life. It varies from person to person. Another thing we often do mistake that, my problems are the greatest problems in life. The other persons are so happy. No one is without problems in life. So Swami Chaitanya was giving lecture in the West. Someone came to him and he had conversation and said, Swami, there's so much problems I have to face in life, this problem, son, job, husband, this is all which he was saying. And after saying that, you recounted a few problems in your life. But you know how much problems Holy Mother had in her life? She never complained, and she was always peaceful, and she tackled all problems so peacefully in her life. What was this? Her strength? Her faith in God. If you don't consider her as the manifestation of divinity, if you take her as to be a simple widow woman, poor widow, then what was her strength as a human being? Her reliance on Sri Ramakrishna, her reliance on God, and everything was smooth for her. So prasada buddhi, with the things that come in life, is gift of God, and God will help me to overcome this. This prasada buddhi is great strength. With that the people can overcome the challenges. There is a beautiful couplet in Bengali that God speaks as it were. Let me tell the original one. Je kore amar ash, tar kori sarvanash. Tao jodi kore amar ash, tahole ami hoi tar dasher das. In English it is, those who are devoted to me, look to me for everything. What I do, you know, the God says, Sri Krishna says, I completely ruin him. Completely sarvanash, nothing will be there. What that ruining is, he will take away our ego, our dependence on worldly things, complete dependence on God. When everything is taken away, then also we don't give up God. Always praying to God, nothing happening, this prayer not fulfilled, another prayer was not answered. Then also I am going to pray to God. I am not leaving Him. I know He is the truth. I have heard from my Guru. I have heard from my parents. I can realize also in the world, nothing is there as powerful as God. If even then that guy doesn't leave me, that person is always with me, then I become the servant of His servants. Then I am always at His doorstep to fulfill His all wishes. Just I need His 100% faith in me. For that He takes that. And He takes away all the things. Arjuna and Sri Krishna went to devotee, very poor, very devoted to Krishna. So happy that Krishna had come. And Krishna asked, how do you survive? What do you have? What position? Nothing was there. One small house, and somehow she used to live, but very happy, so much devoted to God. She had an old cow which she used to milk. She said to Sri Krishna, I have only this cow, nothing is there on my left. Sri Krishna said, I am very happy, mother, with you, with your service, with your devotion, with your presentation to us. What a love, what a devotion you have. It is just to be seen. I bless you, mother, that your cow dies. That was his blessing. It seems so terrible. That was only her possession. So Arjuna asked, after they came out, what did you say to her? She did so much for you, so much devoted, there is nothing in her life except you, and she had that only that possession through which she used to get little milk, and you blessed that made her cow die? Sri Krishna said, yes. Little of her mind was with that cow. She was dependent on that cow. When that cow will also not remain there, she will fully depend on me. And then, yoga kshemam vahamyam. When one has full surrender to God, then it is my responsibility to provide whatever my devotee needs and protect them. Whatever they need, spiritual, worldly, whatever little thing they need. Yoga kshemam vahamyam. Not only that I provide, I carry myself. You know that story, beautiful story. One saint was very devoted to God, and he was reading Gita and said, I carry whatever my devotee needs, and I protect their whatever possession they require. He says, how can God should carry? God is all powerful. He will just grant, He will say, He will provide by some way. But why He said, I carry? So he corrected the Gita and wrote that I give instead of I carry, Vahamyaham. Vahami is the word carry. And instead of Vahami, he said, no, it's wrong, this Vyasa did something wrong, it should be Dadami. Same note of the verse, but Dadami. Yoga Kshemam Dadamyaham it should be. So he wrote, and he was happy that correction did. And he had gone to some errand somewhere, and there was nothing left in household, and the wife was saying, you don't have anything, no food, no vegetable, no grains. What will I cook for you? What will you feed me? So I said, don't worry, God will do something. And she finds that one young, one boy, brings all the articles of vegetables and rice and dal and whatever needed to feed. And she accepts and she says, and she finds that her mouth was a little cut by something. And she asks, you're so beautiful, charming, attractive. I've never seen a boy like you, so good. Then he said, how did it happen? Oh, it's your husband cut my mouth. My husband? How can he do? He's so kind-hearted. He never injures even person by words, by even thought. He's so kind-hearted. How he can do that? So things were delivered, the boy went, and after some time in the afternoon, the husband came, and not getting anything, and said, oh, you already sent so many things. I sent. Yes, but why did you cut the mouth of that so wonderful child? I cut mouth. Yes, he was bleeding. Then he remembered, how was the boy looked like? He was dark complexion, very charming, very attractive. Then he flashed, oh, it was Sri Krishna himself came in the form of a boy. And because I corrected what he has said, so it is like cutting his mouth, cutting his words was like cutting his mouth, changing his words with pain was like using some blade in his mouth. So that was the indication. He went there crying all the way and said that you are so lucky to see God. I have not seen him, but you are so lucky to say to wife. Went crying to his study, whatever reading was there, cut again the Dadamyaham and put that Vahamyaham again. I carry. Every word that God utters is true. No need to correct anything. So that is really how God protects us. Another thing to face the challenge in life is to remember that challenges, like any good times, difficult times are also temporary. Very temporary. They also pass away. Holy Mother always said that people often complain of problems, of sufferings. How I pray to God, why do I suffer? Where is the grace of God? And she says, the suffering itself is the grace of God. And he says, the problems of life, challenges of life are not permanent. They are as temporary as anything else in life. Every problem, every challenge will pass, go away, like the water that runs under the breeze. That example she gave. How water just flows, challenges also will flow. They will not remain here forever. Swami Kripamayananda was asked, you see, God loves us, to sadhakas, to devotees. And we need to practice spirituality to control our inner challenges. Not the external challenge is not the greater problem. The Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi is not the greater problem. The greater problem is our ego, our samskaras. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, lust, anger, greed, delusion, pride, envy, attachment, ego, fear, all these are innate. How to face them? Facing external world, facing a difficult person, that we can easily manage. But how to manage the enemies, the difficulties, the challenges that are filled in our mind? These things. And if God is our Father, why in the first place He gave all those to us? So Brahmananda ji has very nice answer. He said that those are given to us so that we conquer them and get the joy of conquering them. If nothing is put in you, then there is no joy, there is no fight, there is no challenge, there is no conquering. So there is no human being coming up. So these are given to us so that we conquer them. Now how to conquer these things? Lust, anger, greed, pride, delusion, all we are there. Sri Ramakrishna said, don't worry, it can be conquered. Just try to give a U-turn to those things. When you have intense desire for getting something, I want that chandelier. Oh, it's so beautiful. You have time after time the desire comes. One chandelier, you have fight with your husband, you want to buy a big chandelier for your house, and husband says, it's useless, we have nice things, what we need to do that? Then what you do? That intense desire growing up. Like that, Sri Ramakrishna says, when you have intense desire, instead of for chandelier or for a car or for a house or for something else, have a desire to turn, give a U-turn to that lust towards God. I want to see you, I want to have love for you, I want to not let you go. Have that intense desire for God. The intensity of desire need not be eliminated, just it needs to be given U-turn. Focus towards God. Mamanusmara yuddhacha. Fight on in the world. Life is a battle. But the first word, don't forget me. Remember me always. Then only you can fight. Anger. Be angry with God. Why don't you make me free from all defects? Why can't you give me love for you? Sri Ramakrishna said, greed. Have greed to see God instead of seeing the beautiful many other things. Have the greed to see the face of God like that. Pray Him for removing the delusion. Be pride. If you have problem with pride and ego, be proud that you are a devotee of God. I am a devotee of God. I cannot tell lie. Be proud of that. I am a truthful. Sri Ramakrishna often says that if you want to have ego, why you have an ego of I am a big officer, I am a rich person, I am a good looking person, these are all ego. Why you want to have that ego? Rather have ego that I am a devotee of God, I am a truthful person, I am a person who doesn't hurt others. Always try to think that way. Have that pride, that I don't injure others by anything. I try to behave with others always good. That's how he does try to do that. In Raja Yoga, it is said, when you have the problems like Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Apunya, there is happiness, there is suffering, there is virtue, there is evil. How do you tackle with that? What do you do with that? He says, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upekshanam. So have friendship with Sukha. Those who are happy, treat them as friends. What about those who are suffering? Treat them with compassion, karuna. Then you feel that thing. That's how it feels the challenge. When you see someone virtuous, don't feel jealous that, oh, he's so good, everybody praising him. But rather you yourself become joyful. That is mudita. Another person, very virtuous, very good, very unselfish, devoted to God. Lot of name and fame. Be happy that there are people who love your God. Who love God on which path you are treading. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to say, the devotees of Sri Chaitanya used to say, Je jana gauranga bhaje se hai amar pranare. I spoke in Sanskrit pronunciation. So, those who love Gauranga or Chaitanya, they are dear to me like my own life. Make the devotees dearest to you. That's what is called mudita. When you see good thing, be joyful that there is a certain person. When you see the success of others, just become joyful that that person has succeeded. And then what to do with the apunya, non-virtuous person, evil person? Should I go and try to make him good? He said, the Raja Yoga said, just avoid that situation, upeksha, ignore that. Don't try to make him good, it is not in your capacity, it is not given to you. The only thing you can try to come to the Lord and pray for his good. If you say, oh, you should give up your evil ways, you should always do the right thing, someone drinks, oh, you should give up drinking, it won't work. He won't listen to you next time. You don't have capacity or right to teach. So the best thing is, you come to Lord, pray to Him. You don't have to come, Lord means you don't have to always come to the temple or go to the shrine. You can pray in your mind, mone, bone, kone, that you can do. So God always helps His devotees. We have a beautiful story in Ramprasad's life, you see. Ramprasad was once making fence in his house. And his small daughter was helping him. Her mother called him inside, come inside, have some work. And Ramprasad was working without one person helping, she cannot do that. Someone had to give the rope from other side. But he was so much devoted to Mother Kali that he found that daughter came after a few seconds and she was again helping. After long, these fairs were made, almost completing, then daughter comes from inside the house and says, Dad, sorry, I couldn't be there, I had some errand with mother, I just kept you waiting. He says, where was I waiting? You helped me so long. You are putting the thread from other side to the rope from other side. All Divine Mother had come to him. Mother Kali had already, in the form of his daughter, had come to him. That is the story, you see. One is to find Divine Mother coming in the form of daughter. But if we really realize the truth, if we are real bhaktas of God, Divine Mother, in fact, has already come to us in the form of our daughter, our sons, our wives, our parents, our husbands. All this, God has become all this for a devotee of God. Everything is God transformed into this. When Sri Krishna's cows were stolen by Indra, Sri Krishna made all the cows and calves and shepherds, all he made out of himself, he created. And when they were returning home, if all the mothers, they felt greater attraction, greater love for their children. They don't understand why I have more feeling for my children today, why there is so much of love today, more in the greater amount than other days. Not only human beings, even the cows were running after their children. They're crying to get the children because it was God Himself who had become the calves, He had become the children, Gopal and Gopis, and that He has come. This is the story to say. The reality is what we have. When we say, my son, God has become my son. My daughter, my grandchild, it's all God has become that. That what Ramprasad was being done by Mother Kali manifested, that is always she is manifested and she is with us. As a friend, as a devotee, as a people that we meet around, even as some people doing evil, someone insulting, all this God has become whole world. That is the easiest way to face the challenges of life, when we try to feel this God who has become everything, and that is the truth. How challenges faced by Tulsidas transformed him. He was very devoted to his wife. His wife had gone to her parents' house. Tulsidas ran. He couldn't stay without her wife. There, after reaching with all the difficulties, with all this crossing the river and spade and all that, it was raining very heavily that day. Wife said, why you are so much attached to me? This is very bad of you. This is just insult. If you had a portion of that love for God, you have realized God. Why you are after me? I am just a normal human being. This was the great challenge to Tulsidas. He didn't just discard his wife. He did not angry. He didn't go to commit suicide. He really took this challenge as the right thing. Completely devoted himself in search of Rama. And he found Rama and considered his wife as his first guru. This is how the challenges can be utilized in life by doing the things. How many challenges Swami Vivekananda faced in his life? When he came to the US, we often talk of racism and racial profile and all that here. Something happens and we because it is in our mind that we are from other part of the world, we look different from the majority of the people here, we're visible minority, and we think, because of that people are treating like that. Myself, I went to airport and I was being tested for the security, and I thought, because of my dress, perhaps that dressed him. Then it was so long. I found other day, I am there, I am not taken to the special security check. Another person, white guy, is standing in front of me, he is taken to the special security. It was all at random. Because I had in my mind, I am wearing different monk's dress, and perhaps they will treat differently, and when I will treated differently because of their routine, the checkup, I think, because of this. That's why we often mistake that it is because I look like that is done. What Swami Vivekananda faced when he was moving in that time, it was really there. They used to, when there, some pushed him, some pulled his turban. Swami Vivekananda say, oh, this is so racial country, I go back to India rather. I will preach there, I will do there. What did I have to do here? He didn't say that. He faced the challenges. He faced the person who had pulled his turban and he said, what are you doing this? Then that person, oh, you speak English? I'm sorry, he said and went. Swami Vivekananda didn't have any hatred for that person. He knew that face the brute, you see. And he doesn't say that person is brute. He said that person is a good person, kind person, loving person. But his kindness, love, and our goodness is limited. It is limited to the people who speak their language, who wear his kind of dress, who looks like him, has the skin color like him. It is limited goodness. Transcend the goodness. Love all. Be pure. There are challenges, real challenges, how the challenges Jesus faced, how the challenges Holy Mother faced, you see. She was so in dire poverty. She never complained of it. Sri Ramakrishna said, don't complain, don't ask anything from anyone. And there was no food to eat, only rice, not even salt. She used to collect some leaves from the ground, the wild leaves, and cook that. And clothes, there was nothing, no money to buy. It was all torn and she used to just tie the knots, just to make it look like thing. But he never asked, he never complained, he never told to Sri Ramakrishna devotees who were some rich people, they could help. She faced all the challenges without any complaint. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilapa rahitam sa titiksha nigaddate. That's what is called enduring. That's what is called facing the challenges, facing the problems. Don't complain the problem. They are the beauties of life. So that's what our Shankaracharya says. Don't complain any problem, any challenge. Accept that. Face that. Try to solve yourself that. But don't complain that and try to blame any other person for the problems you face in your life. Don't blame others. So that is the way how we can face the challenges. Challenges of old age, have knowledge. When we live for a long time, there will be the changes in physical thing, there will be pain, there will be difficulty in all pains and wrinkles will come, grey, white hair will become grey, and ultimately death will come. That is inevitability, that is the thing in life. If you want to deny the law of nature, then how to do? That is the nature of that. But Swami Vivekananda says, you have to fight against the nature. Nature means internal nature. And he says, face the challenges, fight with nature, transcend law and become divine outlaws. What nature, he says, is not how we grow old, but you see something happens, we feel bad. Someone comes and insults, we feel bad. And nature says, oh, that person has said to you some insulting words, you react, you become angry, you speak some harsh words. There is the time when you fight the nature. And you say, no, I will not listen to the nature to fight back. I will not react to this. Rather, I will bless that person. May you be peaceful. So that is what the fighting nature is there. So Sri Swami Vivekananda always said that. Something happens in your life and the nature says, now this bad happened to you in your life, now sit and cry. Give up your sleep. Be depressed. The fighter will say, who faces a challenge, will say, no, I will not fight. I will not cry this happened. I know that the world is temporary and transient. Everything changes here. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is sure. I won't cry. I won't lose my sleep. I won't lose my peace. I will not get frustrated and depressed. That is what the fighting with nature is. And when we fight these challenges, these problems, then the real person comes out. Then we become great persons, we become example to this world when we fight the challenges. You see, we have one, to say the day-to-day example is, we have one volunteer in our soup kitchen. So he is visually impaired, totally impaired. He could just sit in house. He comes every weekend here by the transit and does everything that a person with all visual normalcy does. Cuts vegetable with sharp knives in small pieces and never did this from that. How he faced the challenges of this great change in his life. And he's always smiling, never complaining, nothing there. That's the inspiration that we get. When we have people who face the challenges and face the problems of life and keep smiling, that's another thing. We have to keep smiling in the face when we come across the challenges. Don't be coward, don't run away from the things. If you can do yourself, always bring God with you. Then God is there, this will go. And whatever is given to me, I will do with it. So with that, facing the challenges, we really become inspirer of the society, inspirer of the humanity. Our posterity will say, oh, we had great-grandfather who wasn't afraid even it happened to him. He faced this thing like this. They will say, great-grandchildren will say about our great-grandmother, great-grandfather. It will be inspiring to them. If we are coward and we start crying at the difficulties and the problems, then we are gone. We are not human beings. We are like any ordinary person. We are not spiritual. We have no right to say, I am the follower of God. I am the admirer of Sri Ramakrishna. I am a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda. When we take the name of Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, we have to have that courage and strength in ourselves, which will make us face the challenges, as they themselves have faced the challenges in their life. And when we can do that, then the challenge will be seen as the beauty of life. Thank you.